The medical technology sector in India is projected to reach 50 billion US dollars by 2025, and but a FICCI report claims that 85% of all the medical devices worth $4.6 billion are imported. To amend this, the government initiated production linked incentives or PLI scheme for medical devices in 2020. Let's find out from the Indian healthcare ecosystem landscape, like how our startups are figuring it out and giving good options, especially in the medical device segment. Hi, this is Smita Kumar, and you're watching Medicircle. Today, on our healthcare startup series, we have Manhar Gopal with us. Manhar Gopal is the founder of Aurus MedTech. He has previously worked with Luxor Writing Instruments and Ian Polymers, and his startup, Aurus MedTech, focuses on improvising the quality of medical devices manufactured in India. Hi, Manhar. Welcome to Medicircle.
Hi, Smita. I'm glad to be here and thank you for the opportunity to speak to you and through you, the millions and millions of people around the globe in the country.
Same here, Manhar. We also want to know like what healthcare entrepreneurs are up to, especially in the medical device segment. So to begin with, Manhar, as the founder of Aurus MedTech, tell us more about your venture and its offerings.
So we are primarily in the medical devices and disposables and consumables manufacturing. Our focus is on products which are currently imported from China and other parts of the world, primarily because the import duties and the costs make those devices and similar products inaccessible to a large strata of Indian community. So we offer cardiovascular devices like user sheets, PTCA balloon catheters, and then dialysis catheters. Then we have some critical care products like central venous catheters and your infusion therapy products. Those are the fast-moving consumer products, such as your IV cannulas, IV sets, and so on and so forth.
When we talk about device manufacturing, India is still, not that presence is not there, especially from the Indian manufacturing.
We are still a net import sector and industry, but at the same time, in the last decade, this sector has seen a remarkable change.
Yes.
In that a lot of people have started putting in the effort and the money and trying to develop new products within India rather than importing them. So in the last decade, quite a lot of innovation and development has happened in India, thanks to obviously market leaders and the very fact that the Make in India has been a substantial push for this. And the government institutions have by and large supported this policy in financing small scale industries such as mine.
So apart from being made in India, that's one thing. What are the other USPs, Manhar, of Aurus MedTech, which is like helping it to be contributing it, especially to one of the sectors where we definitely need more and more Indian startups?
Yeah, well, I think being in the medical device industry, one of the first and foremost USPs more than Make in India is that we have a very strong mindset and policy of making sure our products are of the best and highest quality. They may be inexpensive, but we make sure that our quality control and inspection and in-process checks are done in a systematic and regular manner, so that each product which leaves this facility is something where I can put my name behind that the product is of good quality. That is one. The other one, obviously, is employee satisfaction, where I strongly believe that an organization is only as good as its employees and as happy as its employees. So that is another aspect of my USP. The other thing would be another aspect of Aurus MedTech is that we are very agile as far as developing new products is concerned. We have come up with some of the most critical products like central lines and hemodialysis catheters and introducer sheets, developed indigenously in India in the shortest period of time that I know of at the very least. My knowledge is limited, but at the same time, I can say for sure that these products are of good standard, good quality, and will give international manufacturers a little bit of a few sleepless nights at the very least.
So, but as a device, yes, please.
Yeah, yeah. Cost effectiveness is another thing with which we started the manufacturing back a year ago. That we had to make sure that the products are things and products. The price range is somewhere where most people and everyone should be able to access them. Even people with who don't have the means and don't have insurances and are not covered in ESI and everything. So we provide products at very inexpensive rates for those strata of people and organizations which are trying to help those strata of people. Meanwhile, obviously, overall, when you look at the price point comparison between other manufacturers, Indian and foreign and domestic, we are at a comfortable place where we can say that our production and quality is well maintained, while the pricing is competitive to say the least.
So, but as if you're more into B2B, so how many healthcare providers, like how many patients network you have, and what is your reach till now?
So, to be very honest, since we are still in our infancy, we have it's also uphill task because it's a fairly competitive industry and market in general. But at the same time, I feel confident and proud to say that we have touched base with almost all hospitals of repute in India, in Delhi especially, both corporate and government. Our focus is towards the government sector because the products and the range and the price point at which we are playing. We want to make sure our focus is on making sure the good quality products are available for people who don't have the means. But at the same time, we are also targeting some of the bigger private sector hospitals. So let's see. We have a fairly large patient base at the moment in the sense that um, we would have serviced something around, say, at least 1 million people by now. At least, yeah.
That's good to know. Manhar, and
Correct you.
more and more people. I hope Aurus MedTech is going to help more and more people in the coming future. So, one quick question on funding. So,
Thank you.
so any fundings you have received yet for your venture?
So until now, we haven't looked for funding yet. We have had a few conversations where people have said ballpark figures for us, but at the same time, diluting someone's interest in the organization would not be something I'm looking at right now. I want to still grow the business, generate more revenue, and show that our figures and sales figures and manufacturing is sustainable. Maybe then, but right now we're not looking for any sort of funding.
Going on to my next question, Manhar, because see, definitely funding is one thing where it's completely an entrepreneur's thing, that whether when and because again it's a huge task, And I think at this point, you are more into scaling up your startup, and they're getting more and more patients so that you are helping them out with the different devices you're offering presently. And any other plans like to expand your venture, because you're presently based out of Delhi, and but you're catering to mostly all reputed hospitals. So any next expansion plans of Aurus MedTech? So Manhar, my next quick question is about the revenues. So what were your revenues in FY22? And what you are planning to close at the end of FY23?
So, in financial year which closed in March 31st, we had done business for around 5 months. So we got we entered the market only in August of 21, and in the 5 months, 6 months which we were in the market, we touched around 1 crore, and so our focus and target is somewhere around 15 to 20 in this year.
That's great.
Yeah.
And one very important thing, like presently you're based out of Delhi, but yes, you are mostly servicing, offering your services to all the hospitals which are based in India. So any plans of expansion or future scale-ups, moving out to other cities in India?
Most definitely, we'll go wherever we see that there is a demand which is not being serviced, or if it is being serviced, if it's at a higher price, we'll definitely go to that area. But as far as the manufacturing facilities are concerned, that comes at a later stage. Let us touch 100% in this one, and then we'll see. Like our first primary focus should be to make this existing setup sustainable and show that we are capable of doing what we have presented ourselves to be. And then sky's the limit. I think there is no reason why we should limit ourselves to saying, no, we won't expand and all of that. No. We have a strong command on quality control. So even if we have multiple manufacturing setups, we will be able to sustain the quality. So yeah, sky's the limit. We are always open to exploring new and uncharted territories. So yeah.
So that's great, and thank you so much, Manhar, for joining us today at Medicircle and sharing your experiences of whatever months, because it's really on a nascent phase. But yes, definitely we want to track. We want to track all those journeys, even when the entrepreneurs start, and how are they feeling? What are their experiences? What are their challenges? So that it is for all the other fellow entrepreneurs, because it's a learning right from the day one when you start. Yes. So any message to all your fellow entrepreneurs who are watching this video?
I think anybody who's passionate and who has a drive for things will make something out of himself. So be passionate about whatever you're doing. The rest, everything will fall in place. Learning curves happen. So just because you don't know something doesn't mean you can't learn it. And you might learn it better than anybody else because you're passionate about it. That's, I think, the most basic advice which I would give, but I wouldn't say it advice because I'm still learning myself. So I can't say that.
So, but yes, for every entrepreneur, every day is a learning, and all the best, Manhar, with your venture Aurus MedTech, and may you get more and more. You are there for this device, Indian device, and make in India kind of a thing, where we need to have more and more startups who are bridging this gap, because there is a huge demand supply gap, and a lot of these things are still getting imported from other countries, whereas we have got so many startups and things where we can actually bridge this gap, because it's actually a very it's competitive sector, but definitely there are a lot of schemes by the government of India, and I think startups like Aurus MedTech are definitely doing good for this particular sector. Hope to get more and more entrepreneurs, especially in this device manufacturing segment in this healthcare startup series.
Yes, a little healthy competition would never hurt anyone. As a matter of fact, if anything, it improved quality and reduced costs. So yeah, a little bit of healthy competition is always good. And I would love to see more and more people step into this arena, because I'm not the brightest person around. So if brighter minds could apply their minds, maybe they'd come up with something better and more fruitful for everyone in this country and the world over. It's
That's
definitely an industry which needs more and more smart people.
That's very humble of you, Manhar. Thank you once again for joining, and all those who are watching this healthcare
Thank you,
startup
Neha.
series.
Thank you, Smita.
So please stay
It was a
tuned for
pleasure.
all those information. Thank you so much.